Over the past weeks, Ukraine has unleashed a relentless series of meticulously coordinated strikes against Russian air defenses and radar infrastructure across occupied Crimea. Things are going boom in the night, bigger and louder than ever. I'm former Navy SEAL Chuck Pfarrer, and today we're diving deep into Ukraine's drone tactics and Russia's mounting losses. Right now, Kyiv Post's point of impact. Since early September, Ukraine's main Directorate of Intelligence, the GUR, and its security service, the SBU, have orchestrated a campaign to suppress enemy air defenses and shred Russian situational awareness in occupied Crimea. Using a lethal mix of long-range cruise missiles, short-range FPV drones, and multivalent tactics, Ukraine's targeted high-value assets like S-300, S-400, and Pantsir air defense systems, alongside critical radar nodes, to gut Russia's Black Sea stronghold. Occupied Crimea is a target-rich environment, bristling with Russian military infrastructure, including radar networks, guiding caliber strikes, and air defenses shielding the Kerch Bridge. Ukraine's operations aim to rip this network apart, carving out sensor gaps for cruise missiles and deep precision strikes to cripple Russia's offensive capabilities. The offensive kicked off on 9 September near Kotovesky in eastern Crimea. The target? A $5 million Podlet low-altitude radar, vital for S-300 and S-400 operations. Capable of spotting low-flying threats at 20 to 40 kilometers, these systems were vital. Ukrainian FPV drones, launched from unmanned surface vessels offshore, delivered shape-charged warheads, obliterating the radar antenna in a fiery explosion. Simultaneously, a Nebo-M radar, a VHS system used for detecting stealth targets up to 600 kilometers, was also hit by FPVs, destroying its power core and creating a blind spot in Russia's surveillance. This attack showcased Ukraine's swarm saturation tactic. Waves of cheap decoy drones, launched from USVs off Cape Parkenhut, overwhelmed Russia's Pantsir S-1 and Tor M2 systems. Ukrainian electronic warfare muddled Russian sensors, while Russian crews burned through million-dollar surface-to-air missiles, chasing disposable one-way decoys. Meanwhile, long-range UJ-26 bomber drones with 800-kilometer ranges delivered pinpoint strikes. On September 11th, near Novofedorivka, the GRU's elite primary drone unit struck a Russian radar and a Podlet K-1 sensor, supporting an S-400 battery. Storm shadows, with cluster submunitions, shredded the Pantsir defenses, allowing FPVs from naval drones to destroy the $20 million 96 L6E phased array radar and the Podlet K-1 with 5-kilogram warheads, again stripping Russia of low-altitude detection. Russian sources crowed about downing 18 Ukrainian drones, but couldn't hide the loss of these multi-million-dollar systems. The campaign surged on September 21st near Saki Airfield, a key Russian airbase. Ukrainian UAVs, orchestrated by the GUR, targeted a 91N6E Big Bird radar, the backbone of an S-400 battery with a 400-kilometer range. This multi-vector assault hit from all angles, luring Tor M2 batteries again to activate their radars, which marked them for destruction. Ukrainian electron warfare drones jammed Russian sensors, while a UJ-26 bomber, skimming at 10 feet, smashed the 91N6E's array, with co-located strikes igniting a fuel dump in a massive inferno. Off Cape Violent, a Ukrainian FPV drone smashed a Russian BK-16 Landicraft, disrupting Russian amphibious operations and sending another Black Sea flotilla asset to the bottom. From September 14th and 15th, Ukraine kept up the pressure. Near Kerch, the Utilos-T coastal radar, linked to Russians' GLONASS missile guidance, was hit by two bobbers, one popping up to draw fire, the other delivering the kill. Near Sevastopol, SBU FPVs mauled an S-300VM complex and its radar. On September the 18th, the 14th Black Sea Flotilla's regiment swooped in with their drones, destroying a Nebo-M SV sensor near Baalbek, further eroding Russia's surveillance grid. The campaign's climax came between September 19th and 21st, as GUR and SBU drone teams exploited radar blackouts to hammer Russian airfields with surgical precision. September 21st, at Chaika Airfield near Sevastopol, primary operators unleashed airborne drones with 3-kilogram warheads, obliterating two DE-12 Chaika flying boats, their fuselages split by fuel tank hits, and another Mi-8 helicopter, its rotor assembly blown to pieces. Russian Pantsir systems, distracted by decoys, failed to stop the strikes. That same day, GRU reported the destruction of 3 additional Mi-8 helicopters and another Nebo-U radar station in Crimea, with satellite imagery confirming at least 1 Mi-8 wreckage and other aircraft damage. September 24 and 25th, the money shot. 2 additional AN-26 transport aircraft and several more radar stations were destroyed, leaving Russian airfields pockmarked with smoking craters. This blistering campaign, blending low-cost FPV drones with decoys, storm shadows, inflicted massive losses on Russia, including a Nebo-M, 2 Podlet K-1s, a 96 L6E, a Utos, a Nebo-M, 1 S-300VM, multiple Pantsir systems, 3 Mi-8 helicopters, 2 Chaika flying boats, 2 AN-26 transport aircraft, and several other airframes damaged. The total has been estimated at more than $800 million. Ukraine's cost, 100 to 150 drones, was a rounding error by comparison. These strikes have shredded Russia's air defense umbrella in Crimea. Losses of the Nebo-M and 91N-6E radars have blinded half the peninsula to stealth and long-range threats, while Podlet and other radar losses leave Crimea vulnerable to continuing precision strikes, setting the stage for attack-em attacks. Russian airfields are crippled, with Mi-8s, DE-12s no longer able to operate safely. Caliber missile barrages have been disrupted, and Kerch Bridge defenses are stretched thin. Sanctions choke Russia's ability to replace these systems, forcing the desperate relocation of S-400s from mainland, forcing Russia to choose between defending their refineries or the stolen Crimean peninsula. A hard bargain. Ukraine's asymmetric strategy, trading cheap drones for high-value targets, has exposed the fragility of Russia's Crimean stronghold, paving the way for further Ukrainian advance. Moscow's Black Sea ambitions are now circling the drain. For the Kyiv Post, I'm former Navy SEAL Chuck Pfarrer, and I'll see you again at the Kyiv Post's point of impact.